Hello. Welcome everyone to the weekly Wednesday lunchtime live stream on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. I am DDO's community manager, Cordovan, and it's a downtime show. Yeah, we've got Update 50 being released today, shortly, just a little bit. When's it going to be here? I don't know either, but it should be within the next hour or so. That means Update 50, Sinister's Secret of Saltmarsh, will be released. You'll be able to pick it up in the DDO market. We're going to have a link to that when we go live. For now, we just have the release notes, and we have the FAQ. And we got Little Ol' Me. We also have a launch trailer that I showed you last week. You can find that now over on YouTube. And don't know that we're going to actually take a full hour here. I don't think we're actually going to need to. My guess is that we'll just go through the notes, we'll hang out, we'll see what the latest is, we'll see kind of what's going on, and then we'll just call it a show until we're ready to go. But I know there's going to be a lot of streamers that are going to be streaming Saltmarsh right away, so I don't know. There's going to be quite a few. I don't want to name drop and miss someone, but a lot of the regulars here on Twitch I know are going to be ready to show off Saltmarsh. Same with over on YouTube. I don't actually know of any Facebook-specific DDO streamers. But if you're out there, maybe you should let me know, because I'd like to give you a shout-out as well. Otherwise, we just kind of have a deployment going on right now. We've got our QA team going through in-game stuff, in addition to people going through the store flow, kind of final checks on the purchase flow and all that sort of thing that has to happen before it can go live, and your money can be used for it. So we make sure that's pretty rock solid, obviously, and that's part of why the downtime is a little bit longer than normal. We normally are up by about now. But this one goes till 2 p.m., and it's really just for that additional testing and workflow that needs to be associated with it. So that's all we have. Did Update 49 fix the lag? Yep. Update 49 fixed all of the lag. Update 50 also fixes lag. Why do I do this to myself? Anyway, no, I don't mean to make light of it. As a matter of fact, we do have some things that are related specifically to performance in Update 50, but a lot of that is also still ongoing and will remain ongoing for some time. So, yep. Yeah, I actually did spend a little bit of time on the camera here today. I want to try to up my game, as it were, as I'm getting ready to head into the office. Just about the time I'm heading into the office, I finally have my stream looking good at home. What can I say? Can I blame COVID for it? I guess I can. Here we go. 2 questions and some answers. Can we have all cosmetics converted to account bound, even old bound to character ones? And 2, is it possible to have more Forgotten Realms content in the future? For number 2, yes, we absolutely can release more Forgotten Realms content in the future, and I'm sure that at some point here we will. Number 1, can we have cosmetics all just universally sent to bound to account? There might be some issues with certain cosmetics that would prevent that from working. Particularly, the older the item, the less likely it is that a systemic change is going to work for it. But there are some things we can do. One of the nice things that snuck into Update 50 here is we're taking the old bound to character hirelings, now that we have this nice hireling dimensional folder and everything, and it is bound to account. So now will be your permanent hirelings. Yeah, so there you go. That was something that kind of snuck in at the last minute, that once we really sat down and had some time to look at it, we're like, oh yeah, let's totally do this. So we were able to get that done. And so things like that Snowy Owlbear, the Onyx Panther, the Feywild, the Sharn, all of it, all those permanent hirelings are going to now be bound to account, and thus go into the dimensional hireling folder, which is also bound to account. I can't say that there won't be anything left over, but like I said, this did kind of sneak in towards the end, but the belief is that we nabbed everything, and so we'll see. That's pretty cool. Yeah. Do we know when the pack will be available for purchase? Yes, this afternoon. Should be within the next couple of hours. And it'll be over on the main store page. It's not the most intuitive page in the world, but the main store page is, well, currently down, but I believe it's store-new.standingstonegames.com, something like that. It's off the top of my head. Gosh, I hope I'm right. Yeah. Can we add a search feature to the TR cache? We hear that one frequently. No current plans to do so. Have we found about a way to change the dismount key? Can we change the key map that dismount uses? Craig RPH, I will look into that. That does seem like something we should absolutely add. Yeah, shout out to Deathy TV. By the way, I guess if you say overnight DDO streamer, or maybe Deathy TV isn't actually able to hear my voice, but I actually was trying to get in touch with you. So hey, Deathy_TV on Twitch, if you happen to hear this, reach out to me through either the forums or email or Twitter or something. I want to get in touch with you. Okay, will older X-Packs be available for purchase separately? Not at this time. We don't have anything new other than the new X-Pack going into the store, but there we go. That is something we would like to do in the future. Can you summon more than one permanent hireling? You can summon only one of each type, right? But yes. Let me quick check Facebook. I don't think I've actually... Oops, I hadn't yet checked to make sure my Facebook feed was going, but it says it was. Let's hope. And then we'll get to your questions. Yep, there we go. EH... translate the game into Portuguese. That is one that we hear also frequently over the years. We'd love to do something like that, but I think realistically, it's not something that is likely to happen in an official capacity. I've not heard of any plans to be able to formally support something like that over the years. But I know it does come up, and I think if it... I mean, no one's opposed to it. I just don't think that the resources are there or likely to be there to support a version of the game in Portuguese anytime soon, unfortunately. I'm sorry. Specifically, I would say related to lag fixes in Update 50, while we don't have a lot of specific targeted fixes for lag, some of the combat and other changes that are taking place in Update 50 are expected to have, possibly a benefit. God. Some of the changes are being done with an eye toward performance in Update 50. So some of the combat changes in that are done with an eye toward making sure the game's combat is as robust and as strong as it can be. And while we don't, I think, have a lot of, and this one is for lag, style notes in the release notes, an eye toward game performance is at least a partial driver of several of the things that are going in Update 50, along with other reasons as well. My mug is an honor. It was my work for my 10-year workiversary, and I think it's sweet. And it's got a etched G20 in it. How cool is that, huh? Very cool is the answer. That's true. Update 51 will also fix lag. Probably everyone. Yeah. The idea of a cosmetic wardrobe or storage is probably one of the most frequent questions we get on the stream, and we'd love to do that too someday. It'll be a big task to ever make that a possibility, because it largely involves retyping manually tens, I believe, literally tens of thousands of files at this point. But it is theoretically possible that someday in the future, in the same way that cloaks thought maybe would never happen until someone just did it, maybe we'll have this someday, because we certainly know that you'd like it, we'd like it, and it would certainly make a difference on some of the inventory management as well. Are we considering adding new Reaper wings with new colors and models? This one from Facebook. I would say actively, like, yes, and we're going to do it next. No. Does the idea of, hey, we should do more Reaper wings come up? Yes. So I would expect very much to that'll happen. That'll happen someday. There we go. Did you read correctly? The Gatekeeper's favor will unlock the new enhancement tree. That is correct on a per character basis. And that's actually a good point. Why don't I move on to that section here for the downtime? I'm going to actually post up the release notes. We can talk a little bit about this during, while we're waiting for the downtime to end. Before I do that, let me just quick pop over to where we are myself so I can read up as to where we are in the downtime process. They are still working through the store process flow, getting like end-to-end testing done. So it looks like it's, we're not any time soon or anything like that. All right. I'm getting caught up on an email. All right, there we go. Nothing new to report. Sorry, nothing new to report. Sorry, I've got a little bit of Twitch chat I want to read over here. How will we apply the 10% discount for VIP in the new DDO market when you make a purchase for Saltmarsh? So the way it'll go is that when you go to the new DDO market, you will log in with your game account credentials. That's part of the purchase flow that's been in place for a while now. And what'll happen is the Saltmarsh content will be delivered straight to your game account. When you log in, it'll recognize that you were on a VIP subscription. So obviously you need to be on a VIP subscription at the point you log into the new DDO market. Might need to log out back in, theoretically, if you were really just like doing it that moment or something like that. But, it'll recognize that you're VIP, and then it'll offer you that 10% discount on the various bundles of Saltmarsh. My understanding is that VIP discount is for the DDO market, not for the DDO store. So if that was your question, how will you get a discount? You won't. You won't. What am I drinking? Just water. Just straight water. That's all I'm drinking here. So. Will I do Reaper 10s on stream? Would love to see that. Sure. I mean, I might be on an admin in invulnerable mode, but yeah, I'll totally do that. It'd be sweet. I'd be real good at that. Really good at that. Yeah. Is the Elixir of Discovery just one or one per day? It's really one per character that you'll get ad infinitum stamped on your account once you redeem it. And we will go over the fact page here actually during the show today. So. I can get to the weekend bonus, I believe, as well. Isle of Dread is not next. Our next one is going to be, my understanding, a smaller adventure pack, or an adventure pack of some kind. And also a raid. But we can talk more about that after Saltmarsh is out. Will the 10% discount apply to the basic pack? Yes. The 10% discount on the DDO market will apply to all 3 packs. It's a 10% discount for being VIP. Yep, game is currently down while we are awaiting the release of Saltmarsh. Okay, sure. Let me, real quick, pop on over and get the bonus. And then I'll go through the notes and the FAQ. So, what do I have? I've got a Guild Renown boost of 30%. That'll kick off late morning Eastern time tomorrow and run through Sunday. 30% Guild Renown boost. So that's cool. Alright, now let me get over to really the Saltmarsh. There's the trailer here. You can take a look at that if you'd like to. We are going to have a link to the expansion here as soon as it's available. For the VIP rewards, we'll go through the fact page in just a little bit. But if you log in between now and Sunday, through Sunday, September 5th at 11:59 p.m. Eastern, you will be flagged to receive a Saltmarsh VIP Elixir of Discovery. Your characters will get the claim tickets in your inventory, which you will be able to turn in with Gulfmore and NPC in Saltmarsh. As long as you own a Standard Collector or Ultimate Fan Edition of Saltmarsh, as long as you can get to that public area, right? You can turn it into the NPC. And there is more detail about that we'll get to in the FAQ. We do have a little bit of character work. Most of this is release notes that you've seen on Lamania to date. But, for example, we do have some changes, if this is news to you, in the spellcasting system to make casting spells more reliable. This, in particular, is aimed at a recent, what you might describe as a dry firing bug in certain situations. Additionally, hirelings are going to cast spells more reliably when you tell them to, and we're fixing an issue where we're trying to swap out a missile weapon into a melee weapon would not always queue properly. We have made the monster perception range overall slightly smaller in general. Generally not raid bosses or anything with any kind of custom perception range, but by default, the monster perception range is slightly smaller. Saving throws on all epic monsters on Elite and Hard have been reduced. The legendary 2 monster boosts have been removed, so whenever you'd run into that in a monster where you'd target them and see that legendary boost, that's been removed. We've also adjusted underwater combat for playability. It no longer adjusts what spells are able to be cast. Yeah, that means you can cast Fireball underwater. Penalize your movement or attack rates as severely, and instead makes fire spells deal 80% damage and electric spells deal 120% while underwater. So this is just aimed at playability, getting rid of that kind of slow crawl and what have you. Enhancements. We've got Horizon Walker here. I'm not going to go through the Horizon Walker tree right now, but it's a hunter that traverses plains. They're rugged adventurers, and there's a whole bunch of focuses, including single target bow damage, dexterity, and avoidance defenses like dodge and incorporeality. They'll mark a target, and that marked target will be boosted by a whole bunch of things that are in the tree. You can check out the tree to your leisure as you wish. Like I say, I'm not going to go through all of it, but Horizon Walker is here, and that's available in the Collector's and Ultimate Edition of Saltmarsh. Hour of Courage is now going to apply to all party members. That's from Knight of the Chalice. That's kind of one I know I've heard quite a bit. Stunning bonuses will now work for the Henshin Mystic SLAs. That's another one that is a nice one coming. Radiant Servant has been updated. Pacifism has gone from 2, replaced with a Cure Moderate Wounds SLA. Radiant Servant, the 6th core, now grants +4 wisdom instead of +2, and you can read the rest. A lot of points just cost far less in Radiant Servant. Now, I myself am kind of a Radiant Servant user, so this one matters to me. This one matters to me a lot. But that said, I'm actually looking forward to it as well. The reduction in cost will certainly make it nice to be able to spec into other trees as well. And there's new, like, Divine Aid enhancements and what have you. So, Shatter Kai is also getting an update. The Shatter Kai are going to get their chain attack really reconfigured to be an innate racial feat. Both chain attacks are now melee attacks requiring a light weapon in your hand. So you'll have a light weapon in your hand, and that'll be the core of your chain attack. The chain attack is just getting done to be 1,000 times better and a million times more awesome. I'm pretty sure those are official numbers from QA, and you can read more about it in the release notes there. Yes, the 400 Gatekeeper Favor Reward is now the Horizon Walker Universal Enhancement Tree, awarded on a per-character basis. The Patron Reward will also now consistently remain on you through Lesser and Epic Reincarnations. We've put in some extra checking to help prevent an occasional problem where that stuff was not always persisting like it should, and was a right pain in the arse to deal with. Yeah. Permanent Gold Seal Hirelings. That's like the Onyx Panther. The Bullywug Rogue. The new Bullywug Rogue. Yeah, we're getting a Bullywug Rogue. And Owlbear Defender are now bound to account. The Scroll Seal Shard system is getting a big update. So I'm not going to go through all of that. We have focused on that in recent weeks if you want to go through the archives and take a look. But if you have an old Scroll Seal Shard item, you'll want to take a look at the release notes here, and you'll want to go to probably the 12 over by where Lehar is, and perhaps upgrade that stuff and get it to modern standards. Whole bunch of stuff happening with Scroll Seal Shard loot. In terms of what's going to happen in the future, you're going to see pack ingredients. And you'll just turn in those general pack ingredients per pack to upgrade the items that you get, rather than having to find a specific scroll, seal, and shard. We're making a bunch of those itemization updates in Update 50 to curtail power creep, specifically on the level of items at level cap. We're not going to go into that because we've gone through that a whole bunch, but the item power level is being scaled along with monster power during it, and that's been previewed here on Lamania for quite a while now. We've talked about it quite a bit on the show and elsewhere, so we're not going to repeat that here, but please do read it if you are interested in learning more and you do not yet know about that. Like I say, there's quite a bit here. We are deprecating the guild augments, the old guild augments, old ones from House Kandaric, sorry. Sybaris Spirit Cakes can now be used by raging players to resurrect their dead friends. Base appearances fixed on a whole bunch of loot gen docents as well. Trap the Soul is now going to get a Kyber Dragon Shard that is available in shops, and it's the special standalone component for it. A new monster manual is here. It includes Griffin, Satyr, Goblin, Animated Objects, Living Spells, Gnome, Harpy, Merilith, Forge Wraith, and White. Fix some scaling in Tower of Frost, memory lapse, kind of a big deal, and Another Man's Treasure, some monster stat scaling issues. We also fixed up finally Demon Queen and Zawabi's Revenge to correct the issue where now you only need to complete against the Demon Queen once per life in order to play Zawabi's Revenge. You don't have to redo Demon Queen parts 1 and 2 in order to run the raid. After that, Zawabi will allow you to choose which quest to speak to them about afterwards. It's no longer restricted by a raid timer against the Demon Queen. That also means raid timer bypasses will now work on Zawabi's Revenge. So, groovy. Guess that's about it. We gave half-elves a cosmetic update. I'll actually have to, maybe if I can pop over and take a look at my half-elf, see how it looks. It updated in place, and so your character should just look better, and then in the future you can adjust it to your heart's content. We also worked on some half-orc male animations. We really didn't worry too much about trying to preserve existing half-elf looks. It kind of needed to be done. The 64-bit game client is now the default choice for new installations, and we've updated the wording on the legacy client to indicate that it is no longer being supported. And then we've just done a bunch of tooltip description work. I will get to that, actually. Good question. Leading right into it, about the new monster manual. When will we be able to get that in the DDO store? Let me call up that page. It'll take just a second. All right. Sinister Secret of Saltmarsh. Various features available for points in the DDO store. February 2022. Sinister Secret of Saltmarsh for $19.99. Monster Manual 8 per your question for 595 DDO points. The Horizon Walker Universal Enhancement Tree for 495 points in February of 2022. So how's this whole VIP thing work related to the Elixir of Discovery? So you must log into your DDO game account with an active VIP subscription. You must log in with an active VIP subscription between the launch of Sinister Secret of Saltmarsh today and Sunday, 11:59 p.m. Eastern on September 5th, 2021. When you do that, your account will be flagged as eligible to receive the Saltmarsh VIP Elixir of Discovery, and your characters will receive a claim ticket in your inventory. You will then redeem your claim ticket at any time with Garthelmore in Saltmarsh. That's the NPC. As long as you can basically get to Garthelmore, you should be able to turn it in. But basically you have to own the Standard, Collector, or Ultimate Fan Edition, I believe, to be able to successfully speak to the NPC. And then you speak to the NPC, and you'll have been flagged as eligible. You'll turn in your claim ticket, and then you will get your Saltmarsh VIP Elixir of Discovery. Now, if you did not buy Saltmarsh yet, will you still be able to get the Saltmarsh VIP Elixir of Discovery if you log in between the time Saltmarsh launches and Sunday 11:59 p.m. Eastern on September 5th, 2021? The answer is yes. If you have an active VIP subscription and log in during the launch month between August 4th, 2021 and September 5th, then your account will be flagged as eligible for the VIP Elixir. Your characters will receive claim tickets. Now, you can't turn those claim tickets in because you don't yet have the thing to get you to the thing to speak to the person. But once that problem is solved by thus purchasing, you can then turn in your claim tickets. You must log into your DDO game account with an active VIP subscription between the launch of Sinister Secret of Saltmarsh today and Sunday 11:59 p.m. Eastern on September 5th. And it's basically just variations of make sure what I just said is true. Now, what if I bought Sinister Secret of Saltmarsh and I'm VIP, but I didn't log in during that window? The answer is you will not get your Saltmarsh VIP Elixir Discovery. I apologize. Please log in during this window. This is your chance. Only active VIPs who log in during that time frame will receive claim tickets for the Elixir Discovery. Now, all your characters, both now and in the future, are going to get that. So. And if your VIP subscription lapses, I should get that mentioned, you will continue to receive the claim tickets on your characters, even if your subscription lapses in the future. Your characters will keep their unused elixirs and any unclaimed tickets in their inventory. Garthelmore will continue to redeem your claim tickets so long as you own a standard, collector, or ultimate edition of Sinister Secret of Saltmarsh. Any elixirs you've already activated in your characters will continue to work even if your subscription lapses. And the timer will continue to pause when you're in public areas. So there you go. Also, that hireling folder is once per account, not once per account per game world. So, Garthelmore will deliver that dimensional hireling folder to the first character that claims the Ultimate Edition items from him. He will grant the dimensional folder again, will not grant the dimensional folder again on subsequent servers. So make sure you do that. And yes, you do need the Spark of Unlogic unlocks the sentient slot. It does not give you all the XP for it. So you do still need to earn the XP for that sentient filigree slot. However, if you used it or whatever, you can just get it again. As long as you own that Ultimate Edition. Anytime you want a Spark of Logic, you can basically get one. Also, here's a pic of the cosmetics if you hadn't seen them earlier, but everyone on this stream's already seen them. I know, because I showed them to you. Wasn't it last week, I think? The Bullywug Rogue Hireling is level 3 on Heroic, and level 30 on Epic. So, I don't know yet. I don't want to judge, and I don't know yet how high a level of traps this Bullywug Rogue Hireling is going to be able to handle at level 3 and at level 30. I will be very curious to see what the results of that testing are. I don't think the Bullywug Rogue Hireling is going to suck. I think they're going to have some basic trapping skills that will be proven quite beneficial to people. But are you going to be able to do Reaper 3? Reaper 4? Elite? I don't know. I guess we'll find out today, will we not? And some of us will maybe even find it out on stream. So that's what we've got going on right now. Before I pop on over to your questions, let me just real quick again get a status update as to what is going on. Yep, still just doing work, so nothing really new to report. And I think that's largely the question, so let me go to the Q&A. Streamtom was using his Bullywug and level 7 content, so that's the other bit, right? I mean, it is just level 3, but level 3, 4, 5 has certainly got some quests in it that you could use a rogue permanent hireling, do they not? So, I don't know. Could be pretty useful. And if level 7 wouldn't surprise me, although I bet once you get into Reapers, I don't know. We'll see, right? We'll see. But and also, yeah, augment summons and all that kind of thing is maybe going to matter more than it would be otherwise. So. Will the elixirs stack with other older ones? I can't remember what the stacking properties are for the various elixirs of discovery. My understanding is they don't stack. Greatest applies, and it works in a queue similar to other potions, like Guild Renown and that. But maybe I'm wrong. Do they stack with each other? I don't think they usually do, right? I believe the elixirs are bound to character due to the fact that you can get them on every character. I don't think we can make them bound to account, because then you would have a situation where you could sort of recycle characters to stock up on potions. So I believe this potion in particular is bound to character. Sorry, Apocalypse Dawn. We do really appreciate your Reaper Wing achievement on hardcore this past season, but I think a statue in the Hall of Heroes is probably not going to happen. Sorry, that might be a little more than we can do realistically. I don't know if we're ever going to get a new statue in the Hall of Heroes, but we should do that someday. I don't know what we'd do. But it is really cool that you got that, so. The new scroll seal shard items are available. I'm sure they're going to be in the wiki, but I think you can also see the upgrade versions through the altar as well. So once you can get in game, you should be able to see that stuff. I believe the NPC Shatarakai chain attack is not largely changing as a result of the PC Shatarakai. I believe that they have their own attack regardless, so I don't think that that's changing. I actually had someone just private message me not too long ago asking for a guild renown boost, so while this is coincidental, I know of at least one person who's going to be very happy this weekend related to it. When will Bullywug be released as a playable race? We've had that question a lot since it debuted on Lamania, so I guess people actually want us to do that someday. I don't know. No plans for it, but that sounds cool. Maybe we could do that someday. Who knows? Take the Bullywug Rogue into Haunted Halls of Evening Star. That sounds like a pretty good test anyway. Should maybe do that. Alright, now let me pop on over back to Facebook, see what we got here. A whip and a throwing spear, as well as make orbs better for combat. All three of those things would be sweet. We have no real plans to do either a throwing spear or a whip. But it, along with pole arms, and a bunch of other kind of classics, would certainly be lovely to do someday. Yes, you will purchase Sinister Secret of Saltmarsh through the DDO Market. When it's up and live, you'll see it right there. You'll log in with your game account as part of the purchase flow, and it'll be delivered straight to your account upon purchase. Chest blessers should become more common in groups as random gen loot is becoming more viable at endgame. ... Would I agree? Potentially, yeah. I don't know that chest blessing has ever made a huge difference, but it doesn't hurt. And it is slightly better, right? So, and yeah, that's true. I don't know that we're really going to see a lot of highly developed characters relying on random gen loot, pre or post update 50. But I do think it is probably accurate to say that random gen loot is becoming more viable here with update 50 in some ways. So, interesting point. People want to play a vampire in the game. Now, we don't do evil alignments either, so, but that doesn't necessarily mean you would have to be, well, I don't know. That would be a lore question, would it not? I don't see us bringing vampire to DDO with playable race anytime soon. Yeah, you will be able to, Al over on Facebook, for your existing seal, scrolls, and shards, you'll be able to turn those in with the NPC. Just go to the 12, go to Lehar, the area around there, there's some altars that'll describe what their purpose is, and you'll trade those things in for ingredients. Did I get a green screen? I've had a green screen for a while. I just don't usually set it up, but I wanted to go through the trouble today since it is launch day. And I had a little bit of time because I was up a little bit earlier dealing with the release day. So, all right. I don't know that there's a whole lot else that we can talk about. So, why don't I just kind of take one last look through the questions, one last look through the status of things on email, and then perhaps call it a show. Now, I do know that I was able to distribute a very limited number of Ultimate Edition codes to some of the top streamers on both Twitch and YouTube. I don't want to start name dropping today, but if you, some of our bigger streamers on both Twitch and YouTube, I did have 9 codes I was able to give out in total, and then one for myself, just in case we were up by noon, which we're not. So, sorry. But we should be up by about 2 o'clock here today for Sinister Secret of Saltmarsh, and I do know that we've got some launch day streams happening across YouTube and Twitch in particular. And if it's happening on Facebook, please do let me know, and I'd like to get the word out about that as well. So, I guess one last pass through the questions. I have not seen the Bullywug headdress as a helmet to be acquired. If your account is not renewed, but you are an active VIP for whatever amount of time, would you still get the discount? Yes, because you would still have an active VIP subscription as of the time you logged in to the DDO market. As long as you have an active subscription, now it may be pending cancellation, by choice or whatever, but as long as it's an active subscription, when you're logging into the DDO market, you should see the discount. Is there more than one splash screen for Saltmarsh? Maybe something you could paint, but we'll like to see if there are others to paint. I do have some other screenshots that are kind of environmental screenshots. This is our formally fancied up key art. I can, for the purposes of your painting stream, I could probably get you a version that doesn't have any logo or legal text on it, just like the raw file, so that you could take a look at it for your specific purpose. So why don't you hit me up on the forums or something, and I'll see what I can do there. But yeah, we do have a couple other screenshots, but this is our most produced one, along with the ones that'll be on the store page that'll be going up shortly. I don't know if the Bullywug hireling dances. I assume it does, right? I mean, it's true you have Vamps and Pale Master, but it's different than Vampire as a playable race, I think. In terms of the detailed fact for Saltmarsh versus not having one for Feywild, I think it was largely a reflection of where that information was placed and kind of what was going on at the time. I think had we had the ability to do one for Feywild, maybe we would have, but can't go back into the past now. I will say that, it is something that we would like to do for these kind of expansions whenever we really can. So we're glad to have been able to put together this kind of fact page for Saltmarsh. Put out a treasure hunter weekend bonus and plus 20 hearts for next weekend. That might be a little much to ask. I could ask, hey, can we just give everyone free plus 20 hearts next weekend? No? Okay. Sorry. Could we expand modules like Ravenloft or the Desert by adding other quests and storylines? We absolutely can. We did actually do that with Sharn here, but that is something we could absolutely do in the future. Never say never. We could someday go back to Ravenloft. We could someday go back to, these settings that we've done before and expand upon them. There is small precedent of it, but we'll see. Right now, our current content plans are going in a different direction. We already know that we have an adventure coming up next, and Isle of Dread is at some point of being in the works. So we'll have more information about that in the future. But that won't be for quite a while yet. I also don't have any announcement about when Otto's boxes will next be in the store, sorry. I'm not sure what you're asking about, Chris the Missword. How come the price of freedom wasn't adjusted according to patch notes? In what way was it not adjusted? I maybe missed a release note. So if you can provide some more information in chat or something, I'll take a look, see if maybe I should add something. Maybe I missed a note that got changed. All right. Well, I think that's going to wrap it up then with the stream here. Thanks very much for watching, everybody. And we're going to be live with Saltmarsh here later today. So keep an eye on Twitch, keep an eye on Facebook and YouTube. I'm sure we'll have a lot of streaming going on throughout the day and night and in the coming days on these platforms. And I myself will hopefully be playing a whole ton of Saltmarsh later today and beyond. So very much looking forward to our new mini expansion here, Sinister Secret of Saltmarsh. And gonna leave you for now. But when next we speak, it'll be because I'm telling you the worlds are open and Saltmarsh will be available to learn more about and purchase if you wish. So, see y'all soon.